I'm going to need you to look at the timeline and then look up how quickly or how long it takes a human body to drop 1 degree of temperature Fahrenheit in 30 to 35 degree weather. I'll help you. I'll help you. I looked it up. It takes it takes about an hour. It takes about an hour to lose at least 1 degree of body temperature. Lindsay's core body temperature in the emergency room was recorded at a core temperature of 82 degrees. Now, the reason why this is so unbelievable is, for me, I do cold water training in Alaska, in Southeast Alaska. I go out into the ocean during January and February when the ocean floor temperature underneath the ocean water can be 28 degrees. And the ocean water temperature is sometimes 30 degrees because it's salt water. So it doesn't freeze. I can still go into the shallow water in 30-degree water. And I don't just wade into 32 or 30-degree water. I go in to the ocean sometimes during 5-degree weather Fahrenheit. And I walk out all the way up to my belly button, stay there sometimes for 10-15 minutes, and then I walk out further until I'm up to my ribs, and then I hang out there for as long as I can. And once I've acclimated to that, then I drop under, fully submerging. Sometimes I do it twice, sometimes I do it 4 times. I have done this and tried to do an interview of sorts. I interviewed with somebody who had a live stream in 2022, and I was trying to be like, oh, no problem, even though I wasn't expecting to be interviewed on a live stream, and I was trying to get back to my car, which I had left running so that it would be warm when I got inside. I didn't have a heavy jacket. I didn't have pants that were dry. I didn't have anything other than a regular winter coat and a hat on and a towel that was still wrapped around my waist. My body temperature got down to 92 degrees. As soon as I got down to 92 degrees, because I was probably about 95, 94 when I came out of the ocean, when I was on this live stream and my friend was trying to talk to me and ask me questions, I was good for about 5-10 minutes. And then the closer I got to 92 degrees, that was when hypothermia symptoms started to set in. And I was shivering uncontrollably, and to the point that my voice was sounding convulsive. They were asking me questions. I was starting to not be able to answer the way that I intended. I wasn't making sense. And even when I intended to say something, like if they asked me a question like, where do you want to go eat? And I knew the answer I wanted to say, I would be like, well, and I was convulsing. I could barely form the words I was trying to say, and also the answer I was trying to give was almost incoherent. I pushed through. I finished the interview. I sounded ridiculous. I got in my car. It took me so long to stop shivering and to get back to a regular body temperature. And that was just going down to 92 degrees. You cannot convince me that somebody who is recorded after being in an ambulance, transported to a hospital, being treated with a bear hugger, which is a device that they talk about in the trial that is meant to raise the body temperature of a person suffering from hypothermia. You cannot tell me that somebody who has already been treated with life-saving measures to raise their body temperature to 82 degrees would have the ability before that, with a crushed thyroid and swelling and edema of their throat. You cannot convince me that they would be able to answer a question, let alone answer a question coherently, let alone actually get out anything other than basement. Like, I highly doubt that Lindsay would have been able to communicate anything. We've already heard in the trial how first responders were saying that she was moaning, she was groaning, she was gurgling. That I do believe is accurate and 100% true. What I do not believe is that somebody with a body temperature lower than 90 degrees is going to be able to answer basement. Even that. Impossible. I've experienced hypothermia more than once. I have experienced the onset of it. You cannot convince me that if I dropped 10 degrees more, that I would have been able to answer any questions coherently at all.